Been doing a great job of that so far. Nate through the sky yet again. He says, I'll do it all by myself this time. High-paced action from both of these squads. Love this aggression, and now Goat Lotion looking for something in the middle. The pass is there, and it's... Shots continue to rain down in both directions. Diamond Dude will dance around as Ronem continues to be a menace.
What?
Triple kill.
Unfortunately, the fade might not be put down by Jake. Sarah does answer back, and now, once again, only the chamber remains right around the corner, but Jake finds one. Not going to be enough.
Had the perfect in that first round there. Piggy getting some offense in, and you know that Zito's burnt out here, but that doesn't seem to matter to him. So once again in the corner, just trying to get anything going. Yep, meeting in the air for this as well, trying to find one more opportunity here. Continue can be able to clinch us, but watch that. We see a level 3, I believe, here from Garlic Bread.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 Fall Season Grand Finals, brought to you by LandFest. An exciting best of 3 on the cards today. My name is Hot Sauce, here with my beautiful ball and chain, D-Lo. How we feeling today, my friend?
Honey, we're home. It's finals. We get to send it all the way back till the cows come home here for WSSEA Valorant. I am looking forward to it. I'm already live on the scene. Not the right map, but at the very least the right spirit here. And boy, oh boy, do we have a spirited series coming at you. It's no longer best of 1s. Oh no, that wouldn't be fun. It's going to be best of 3 to see who takes it home to the very end. And man, between Southridge and Camas, you really can't ask for a better start to this day.
Yeah, I mean, Southridge had a big upset against Rogers there in that semifinal where they won 13-8. So we don't get to see Rogers and Zen in this one, but in that going on at the same time as well, there's Rogers and Lake Stevens for that 3rd place matchup. So Lake Stevens did get 3rd place yesterday in Rocket League as well. Maybe looking for a little double up on that bronze trophy there. But to the important one here, the grand finals, the bragging rights, that big trophy, that 1st place prize as well. Camas, Southridge, you mentioned it. It's a best of 3 starting out on Ancient. And looking at these two schools' records, they were both 1-0 in the preseason. Camas was 5-0 in the regular season, where Southridge was 5-1. They had lost to Pirates Gold in the regular season. Well, they got that revenge in the postseason. It was Southridge that was able to take out Pirates Gold as well and began to advance forward. So really excited for this one. I think we're in for a real treat.
I mean, Southridge is, of course, one of the titans, one of the juggernauts of WSSEA's Valorant. Being the 4th seed, you certainly can't count them out, but I gotta say, I'm sure many, including, of course, the Pirates themselves, were surprised to see themselves be felled by the bottom of that top 4 bracket. Southridge say it's all calculated, it's all going according to plan. That being said, there's also a lot of momentum behind Camas. We got to see what almost felt like a best of 3, right? It was Camas back-to-back on Lotus, dominating anyone who stepped up to them. So I'm glad we're not going to be seeing that map to start things off. But you know what I am glad about? Our amazing sponsors. Let me tell y'all about Zotac. Hey everyone, we want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming, baby, for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase the amazing talent that our Scholastic Esports has to offer. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Why don't you? Make sure to join that community on the Discord, and don't you dare forget to use that hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
I'm going to get out there and make a tweet as well and let them know how snazzy my friend D-Lo's looking today. I love the tie, the color as well, and love to see it. It's all for a great thing here, an exciting grand finals. This to decide our champion of the fall 2025 season, Southridge, Camas. I would say Southridge probably has a little bit more of that upper battle, you know, that they're considered that slight underdog, if you will, but they've already upset the #1 team of Rogers. Can they find another big upset here? And like you had mentioned, if I'm playing against Camas, I'm trying to stay away from Lotus.
What you see behind me, you don't want to see that behind or in front of you. You want to see it stay just back here in the past, all right? You leave it there. In the future, what do we got? Ascent. What are we expecting for the comps?
I mean, I think at the Scholastic level, we've seen it be more of a comfortability pick than a meta pick. I do say that you genuinely want a minimum of a Cypher or a Killjoy. And so it looks like we see both of those coming out here. A lot of these teams have been running the double duelist, which I think has been working great for them. That Clove, another one. Sova, phenomenal on this map, not only for the intel, but there's a lot of paper-thin walls on Ascent, a lot of great spots to spray through and find some picks. So I expect to see some of that coming out. Obviously, you want both teams to have a smoke, but you get one in Omen, you get the other here in Brim.
You know what I'm seeing as a difference? Tuna's back on the Neon. Great. We know how Tuna can play that god. They're swimming with the big fish. We now have the Forma Reina now on the Waylay. Now, that's not only a character who's, generally speaking, is a bit more old than a few of the other characters have been released since then. But as far as agents go, not one that I get to see too often. But alongside that Neon, very high mobility.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what they're looking for, right? To explode onto these sites. They're starting out on the attacker side, and so I think that this is a comp that could benefit them. You take a look at the other side, it is a double duelist, so as long as they fare well on the defensive side, keep it close, I think it'll be great for them as well. So, I think Reyna probably a great pick for them on Lotus, but I'm guessing they're going to this Waylay because it is Ascent. They're trying to work with this Neon, see if they can explode onto site, kind of create a little bit of confusion in that defense so that the other team members can pressure on. If they don't find those initial picks, finding the trades at a bare minimum.
So you're going to try to get the Tuna lost in the crowd and maybe lost in the smoke. That Brim's going to be, I think, very pivotal to keep them alive for a bit longer. Unlike the Clove, you can't place down the smoke once you've wasted your life. So it's about Southridge making sure to use their utility in the right moments and make sure they get it off even if they are going to go down with the ship. Whereas Camas, those double duelists got to do as much damage as they can before they inevitably go down. The Blaze of Glory. Pistols round coming up.
A blaze of glory. That's certainly what we're excited to see here. That's beautiful chaos. Music to my ears, as we like to say here in this best of 3. And, well, maybe warming up a little bit here with some sprays against the wall. Just letting the competition know what's coming. The thunderous sound is going to be followed by the stampeding of footsteps. And it appears that the majority of the action is going to happen around this A site. Southridge, the Cypher, already set up here as well, so it could be great for them.
A chorus of lead begins the outcry, but it's quickly silenced by the smoke. Neon walls come up, but unfortunately she gets lost amidst it. And already Tuna, as well as the Waylayer down, double duelist, dead.
I love teams that are willing to just spray through walls and or smokes. The amount of times you come up with crazy kills just by shooting through that smoke, just guessing, taking a risk. And now we see 2 of those here. So Southridge, they got a player advantage to work with. It's up to Camas now to make something happen, and they're going to be spotted here by the Sova's Aldrone at mid.
That's tragic. Everest comes down from on high. DSW down in the dirt. Southridge already on their way to a flawless pistol round. Off the back of the upset of the first seed, you can't ask for more, but Diamond Dude does get some blood on their ledger.
Right here.
Finding a couple there. We see the Sova and the little Perlo Nota, as you often reference here. Southridge, great start. They find the final 2 picks. They have a fairly dominating round. I mean, you look at the side of Camas, a team that's been dominating their way through the regular season and postseason, only getting 1 kill in that opening round. So they have to be careful about forcing into this round. They want to make sure they have enough funds to buy in the following round.
I mean, it's exactly for the reason you mentioned. Southridge are bold. They are brazen. Shooting into smoke, I think, is very rare. I feel like people are so hesitant about it, but Camas already knows where you are. It's 2 sight. They know you're likely at one of these points. Why not spray into the smoke? Why not take a risk when the gains can be so high? Lula going to be following in suit. Takes down Tuna once again. The fish is silenced, but Rotom, as well as the Waylay, answer back with 2.
Yeah, Sova unfortunately getting caught with util in hand as the group stampedes on. It was a nice opening pick from the Yoru, but after that, things favoring Camas. They've got the plant down here as well. Time on their side. Reyna with a blind will try to pressure forward. They've got to be careful of this lurk into her garage, though.
Tricky. Waylay in the back. Knows the distraction of football. Parananota! Front and back, both covered, baby. They don't even need the ult for the intel, but Diamond Dude says, I know a few things of my own, and takes him out.
Cage triggered.
Oh, Gonna bait out that defusal here as well. Diamond Dude will try to shift around the other side. He finds a pick, but the trade comes in, and the defusal was already halfway, so plenty of time for Southridge. It's a phenomenal start here for Southridge, but we do have to remember that was an eco round for Camas. So they get 4 picks. They begin to take some of that economy away from Southridge, in which normally would be a bonus round. Now becomes a bit more difficult for Southridge.
You know what I'm seeing on the agenda here? It's I think it's Odin time, baby. I think the Allfather's got a few things to say. He's gonna try to put the kiddos in place and ground them 6 feet under. We'll see what they can do though. You gotta imagine Southridge already have the hot hand. They're feeling good. They got the armor to boot as well. But Camas now, with their resources in pocket, what can they accomplish with them?
Well, it'll be a little bit of a slower, more methodical round I expect here from Camas as well. They don't want to give up any of these rifles for free. They've found their full buy and inching toward on Cat here, beginning to get some really great mid control.
Look at Tuna playing this way more methodically, recognizing that they cannot go down without any utility, without any gain for it. They're such a key, pivotal member of the offense that when they die instantly, it's really looking rough. So not the Molly. Not going to find too much other than clearing the path before you. Like you said, though, slow, methodical. Omen on Camas, though, has taken quite the hurting.
Diamond Dude patiently waiting to see if there's a flank that would come in, but Southridge doing a great job of being patient. They're going to step forward here just a bit. That's Sova on the other side with a Bucky. Brim quick to drop the smoke to keep him at bay, but Waylay's already found 1 pick and looking for more.
That's trouble. You have the shotgun as well for the pocket if I miss her, but not going to be able to quite find anything just yet. Brim around the corner. Fire and smoke, but Lula Balula going to be able to find 2 before Diamond Dude answers with a double of their own right. Advantage Camas, 3-2.
Got that player advantage. Device.
30 seconds
Down
left.
though here in a bit of an awkward spot. The intel comes in and Diamond Dude's going to capitalize. He's found the 3K and Southridge now only has the Cypher standing, but it's Lapero Nota finding 2 big ones now in a 1v1 against Cypher himself.
He said detenga, but Diamond Dude says detengo. They got him with that final kill. Takes down their body double and gets Camas on the board. That was intense, and I love Diamond Dude being willing to drop that ultimate, to drop the neural theft in the last half of the round. It is the exact opposite of what we've seen former teams unfortunately waste their ultimates by never using them against Camas. Camas recognized ultimates are tools that you got to use and then regain them again.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we been preached about, you know, using that ult in the round that you get it, if not the following round at a minimum, so that you give yourselves more opportunities to find those ults throughout your matchup. So, a great job by Camas here, battling back in round 3. They need to put 1 more on the board if they want to tie it up, and Tuna will be turned into sushi here. Everest will dip back to safety. They've got a player advantage to work with now.
That play was spicy. Put some wasabi on it, baby. La Parlanota dips back into the smoke and reconvenes with the team. Unfortunately, Tuna there just caught with the sprint. You're running a marathon when you really should be shooting a gun instead. Diamond Dude has the corner peek on Eula if they decide to poke their way ahead up. This Brim's doing a great job of staying alive. Again, recognizing that the utility is key, that making sure they preserve their life, not just for themselves, but for the good of the team.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. It takes that full 5 to make it happen. Shining stars are great, but it's that consistent drive of that cohesive unit that will get you to win championships. DSW, cautious of this trap, trying to find maybe a pick first. Rotom has gotten great positioning here, and he finds 2 on the rotation.
Odin or not, this Sova is deadly. Unfortunately, Lula Bula agrees and is going to quickly put them for a dirt nap. DSW answers back in La Paranota. 3-2, Camas advantage, but Southridge have proven they can still do quite a bit of damage from the disadvantage.
Planted.
Here comes the flash from Yoru, the dart behind. We'll get a bit of intel, but through glass comes Diamond Dude. It's another 2K, and that was a scrappy round for Camas. We saw a couple pistols, some classics on board, playing around some hero rifles. They come up with a big round, and now all of a sudden it's Southridge who is going to experience some of these economic troubles, and they potentially might be playing around a hero rifle of their own, which means if they do lose, Sova wouldn't be able to buy in the following round. We see him maybe getting a grasp on that, and again, you want to just stay around that 1800 mark. That would ensure you have enough credits to buy in that following round. So having something like a Bucky and even some light armor to go with it isn't necessarily a bad thing for Sova. They just don't want to invest much more than that.
Got to make sure you keep the bigger picture in mind. Not only just within this game, but the mentals as well for the entire series. Best of 3. First, we get to see it here in the bracket. Paranota been an offensive hope actually quite a bit. Both Cyphers been popping off. Tuna finally gets their jaws a bit wet with the blood of Lula Bula and stepping out of the smoke. Best be careful there, Brim. The team needs you.
Need those smokes. They're important. That util from Brim, but now it's Sova with a shotty to the body. Eula will find one as well. The Sheriff. They're quick to come back as Camas. They've got the rifles. They find two in their own right. Everest with 20 health and a dream will be put down as well. Now Lapeta Nota all alone again with a Marshall. Not the easiest of things. And that Sheriff, I think, needs to be reloaded as well. Diamond Dude from behind. And now Camas in full stride.
Nice, man. Camas are stringing together the wins just the way you want to see. They have not looked back. They have got their pedal to the metal, foot pressed all the way down, but ultimates on each side. The economy, in terms of both halves, the old economy as well as just the economy is going the way of Camas, but Southridge have got to full buy this go-around, and they certainly have some good tools. If La Paranota can get a first kill for the team, that neural theft will come in big.
Yeah, they got to find a way to slow Diamond Dude down. I mean, 10-2 through these first 5 rounds is an insane feat on its own. They've got 3 ults stacked on the side of Camas as well, and potentially could be using these on entry. They've had a little bit of a tougher time on this site, but they're beginning to realize where this Cypher is putting these traps. And so we see Ronom trying to destroy some out there as well. I want to see Southridge mixing up the locations of some of these tripwires.
Ronom knows where they are, but couldn't quite get the tracking bolt in. Unfortunate, but spread out on that gateway. And you're noticing that there's a very heavy dedication here from Camas, and you're also noticing the long winding flank. This could get a bit dicey. Best be careful.
Well, we see Tuna try to dash in, but Lula, finds that one. DSW does get the trade here at a minimum. Teleports toward Jin. I don't think Lapata heard him. That's a silent death that comes through. And now Eula up toward Glass here. They've got some decisions to make. They find themselves down a player. Ronom has Hunter's Fury and can just back off and play this post-plant position through the wall.
Camas have not lost a mid-stage of the game where they have the man advantage. I miss her. Gonna try to change things. Drops down the bolt. Also stimmed up. But does that mean you get a win? We'll find out as DSW trades out their life with Everest. Around the corner, Waylay perfectly positioned and instantly with precision takes down the 2 remaining members of Southridge. Camas on the hot streak, it's 4-2.
This team has just been near flawless throughout the entirety of both the regular season and the postseason. We've seen quite a few 13-1, 13-0 wins from this Camas squad. So I was excited when we saw Southridge come out with the first 2 wins, but now we've seen them kind of dip into some economic troubles here. They're going to kind of maybe feel a little bit lucky and buy a few buckies here. It's shotties across the board. So we'll see if they can make the magic happen here, but they got to start putting rounds on the board. They can't allow Camas to get too far away with this one too early.
I gotta say, I'm really liking this Waylay deviation. The Reyna on Everest is not looking too shabby, but we have Camas with this Waylay. They've formally favored the Reyna, but that mobility is really working out. Tuna, unfortunately, still lagging a bit behind in the ocean, but they've still got a chance to be a strong swimmer. Lula Bula, around the corner, has oftentimes fired the first shot, gotten the first blood, but the recon drone's out.
Almost finds the kill as the dart concusses to slow that fire rate down. Tuna able to find a big pick. Shots to the wall, just missing the mark here. We're going to see him shift back through the smoke. They've got help towards spawn side here. The ping comes out from Eula as well. And he's in good position with the Bucky, but Tuna does find the first. Rotom eats 1 dart. Nice shot on the Everest, though. Tapping heads and getting bread. Rotom on fire.
Right through the wall, too. Bang, bang. Waylay's going to take down Nota. Take your notes there, Brim. I don't think you got really too much left. Any rounds left in the chambers at all? Smoke as Diamond Dude smokes him real quick like a suckling pig. It's going to be 1 more round in the pockets of Camas with 4 members remaining.
That's a consistent thing for them, and if you take a look at their economy, it shows. I mean, they have 4 players nearing that max credit mark with plenty of stacks in the bank, and that's what happens when you win consistent rounds and you win them without losing many members. So Camas economy in check for Southridge. They're going to have to win a few rounds in a row if they want to start to put that trouble onto the shoulders of Camas here. So it's been 5 rounds in a row now for Camas.
And we're seeing these ultimates stack up too. 4 in the pocket here for Southridge. And Camas, sure, they have them, but they don't really need to use them. Prove to me they're liable to. Tuna, unfortunately, proves themselves to get a bit suckered in by Eula. Baited and bites on that hook, and it's going to get left dry by the Brim. A solid starting for Southridge. Now, what can they make from it?
I mean, when you're winning rounds without ults, it's not necessarily Waylay finding 2K. And so for Camas, they get that luxury of enjoying the lead and getting to use the ults a little more sparingly. But what a shot here down mid from Laparra on this Cypher and trying to reel it back a bit. They get that 3v3 opportunity. Laparra Lanota's going to find one more on the Waylay. Pops the ult, goes bald, and gets all the intel.
That's exactly what you need. I am so glad we're seeing it come through, but here comes the Hunter's Fury to match. Gotta be careful at DSW. A quick TP back to safety, but Diamond Dude is gonna be able to drop him. Is this Valorant or a rap battle? These Cyphers are sick.
Yeah, and Diamond Dude, they haven't found a way to shut him down yet. He's only got 10 health, tucked in toward hell here, so a real opportunity, but they've got to find a way to nullify that. It's a crossfire play here between main and this hell position. And Sovadart coming in for some intel. Still has 2 shock darts as well. Could apply some damage down below, but are they aware? They are now.
Oh! 10 health is all I need. Everest is going to be able to take them out from the top of the mountain, but DSW does lie in wait. The defuse comes through, but we see right through that plan. Unfortunately, the Queen's been dethroned. One more round for Camas.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more of a sense of urgency there from Southridge. We saw Sova with both of those shock darts, so would have liked to seen them both go toward hell. One on the left, one on the right. You could clear out those angles, and unsurprisingly, they would have killed the opposing Cypher, who was sitting at just 10 health, but not able to clear that bottom. The fact that we see Diamond Dude get the pick onto Sova, which was that player with 100 health, really kind of helped solidify that round.
And now they have the ult ready as well. So Neural Theft on standby the moment Diamond Dude inevitably finds a pick. It's rough looking. Even though the hot hand from Camas has changed, before it was Tuna, now it's Diamond Dude, the result's still the same. It's cohesive teamwork, and those first 2 rounds that Southridge took seem more like almost download rounds from Camas. They're literally neural thieving in real life as well. La Paranota trades out there for Tuna, but with Tuna not really at their best, that's not the worst trade in the world.
Yeah, it seems like, you can win those pistol rounds. You often go on to win that second round. That's why it's important to be able to win your full buy rounds when you are collectively buying as a team. And so that's the kind of struggle we've seen from Southridge right now. Not able to solidify some of these big round wins. They've had some very close rounds that came down to maybe just a player, but Camas just slightly able to go over the top there. And that's what sets them apart from a lot of these squads. Outrone's going to come out. Bula will have to dip back, has been spotted, maybe catches the Reina there as well.
Oh god, you guys are grouped up together. Everyone group up for spray. No, get out of there quickly before you get absolutely rinsed. DSW finds the plant, and these retakes from Southridge has not been successful. We'll see if now their luck changes.
Well, and Camas just does a good job at their post-plant positioning. They spread out, they play together, they've got the crossfire, and they continue to hit the headshots. They're winning the gun battles as we see Everest trying to battle back. Does find a pick here. DSW is going to bait out a teleport, but Sova's not going to bite.
Yeah, I know that trick. Gosh darn it, Everest been spraying the floorboards. A bit paranoid, are we? But there's only one target ahead of you. It's the bomb and the 3 people protecting it, but only one person left to try to take on the world. It's Everest, and this might be the hardest mountain you have to climb. DSW sends some pot shots their way. The timer ticks on down, and even with the consolation kill, the round will go to Camas.
Yeah, Camas does just such a great job of navigating time management. I mean, we see them kind of working toward mid, pressuring, making some noise at both sites. Once they find a pick, they decide where they want to explode. They explode onto the site. They use those smokes to block off sight lines, entry in, the quickened pace of Waylay, or this Neon. And so they're really playing their composition to a T. I mean, it seems like they've come with a game plan, and so far they've been executing it flawlessly. Southridge needs to find a way to throw a wrench in the mix.
I mean, it's certainly not going to be easy with these weapons. We're seeing sheriffs come out, light body armor, and guys, it's cold outside. This is winter. You really got to make sure that you layer up. But instead, they're going to neglect mommy's advice and try to go out with just t-shirts and tank tops. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Need some luck at the moment. Nice line out from Tuna. And again, the quickened pace is a grunt as Tuna finds a 2K. Looking unstoppable. Brand peekaboo from behind. Tuna, the quadra kill and a flawless round. Living life in the fast lane. It'll surely make you lose your mind. But tonight, Tuna feeling fine.
Welcome back, Big Fish. Top of the food chain and top of the morning to you. That'll really wake you up if you're a member of Southridge. Disgusting work with the slide. Sweeps out. They were aiming for like gut shots, inflicting maximum pain. They say efficiency, nah. I want you to feel these bullets.
Man, you talked about Tuna being a little bit silent, but as you mentioned, the big fish, the beast, seems to have been awakened here and has the ult. The neon ult is so dangerous. The point and click, no issues with recoil, and you can find a ton of kills. So we'll see if we see any of these ults come out here in this round.
I like the Lear being put on the low ground, but unfortunately Everest caught between high and low. The recon drone going to be able to at least distract him for a bit. The neon walls come out and spray through the smoke. No longer successful. Neon has seen through that book, takes down Everest. The Faranota takes down Ronim. Not too shabby a trade, but Tuna's on the hot streak.
Tuna is on the hot streak, and Diamond Dude's been there the entirety of the game. DSW, Diamond Dude, combined for 2. Lapetta, no,
nice.
The spray through the box. He sees the blood fly. The dinkage comes in, and Tuna does eventually go down, but they found the player to the minimum, and guess what? Diamond Dude still standing here.
Oh, no. Taking some lessons from Tuna. The gut shot sweep up the Cypher. Lulabula up against a low health Omen. One taps him, but still got the final boss remaining. That's Diamond Dude, and they are a hard nut to crack. The defuse begins to start, but Diamond Dude knows, are they audacious enough to go for the wall bangs? The answer is yes, but Lulabula hits it just a bit better. Southridge finally putting an end to Camas' streak. It's 8-3.
An important round, one they desperately need. 3 you can potentially work with. We've seen those 9-3 curses, but ideally you hope to get at least one more on the defensive side. And even though I feel like Ancient can be a little bit more of a defensive map, again, I feel like at the Scholastic level, a lot of these attacking squads do better because the defense is kind of split 3-2, 2-3, or maybe 2-2 with 1 at mid. And so if you are 5-player rushing it somewhere, you always have that player advantage. You find the picks or the trades at a minimum. You're able to get that plant down, and Camas' post-plant positioning has just been phenomenal. So we'll see if Southridge can do something similar here after this final round of the first half.
Low ground layer once again. You've seen that book before. Tildy comes in from Ronin. Don't find the tracking dart, but we do find the kill on Everest. Once again, Tuna just hunting down the Reyna every single time. Drops one more. We about to see another 4K.
One enemy.
Hopefully. Yep. Yeah, there it is. Tuna, the triple on board. Waylay has found one as well, but with only 5 health, it gets tough. You take a look at the weapon that Sova has, though, and you've got to be close with this judge to really make it count. And when we look at the mini-map, everybody quickly closing in on this Sova.
Oh.
Waylay will find the final one. It's a full house between Waylay and Tuna. And, well, Camas picking up right where they left off. It's a 9-3 strong half for them.
Ace is full, baby. We've seen that 2 times now. The time where we saw the 4K come from Tuna, it was the way we finish it off. This double duelist comp is working wonders. And you know, you look at Camas and that explosive potential. Like, that is the exact idea of the comp when you mention it. That explosiveness where you're just able to kind of go out, kill as many people as possible before Southridge even know what happened. We're not seeing that from the Reyna and from the Yoru. Like, yes, Bulu is getting a few picks here and then, but I feel like it's more so from the overextensions of Camas rather than Southridge having the positioning and having the leg up on their opponent. You know, you think back to that first round. Again, it was a feel-out round. Camas was trying to call out how audacious Southridge were, and once they understood, they really have never seized control of the set.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Camas has just been playing. I mean, we've seen them play so well all season. And not only are they playing well, but they finished teams 13-1, 13-0, 13-3. And so I felt like they really haven't been tested much. We saw Southridge open up with those pistol rounds, which they did certainly succeed there. And so now they have an opportunity to do that again, right? They can win this pistol round, win the round, to make sure that they don't lose that following third round, or so many players in that second round, right? We saw them lose 4, and so then they don't really get a bonus, and that's where Camas begin to take over. So they've got to continue that momentum off of the pistol round if they're able to win it here in the second half.
I hate to mention it, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I saw a single dimensional drift. Now, maybe it's just because we weren't observing in that moment, but I swear I feel like I have not gotten to see a single one, whereas, again, you see in Camas, they're very willing and liberal with those ultimates, even when they're playing from ahead. They just recognize the utility. They recognize the fact that there's no sense in having any pride over maintaining it. You might as well throw it to the wind, because you know with how high performing these teams are, they're going to get it again. So don't lock in too deep. Don't dig in your fingernails. Be willing to let it go.
I'm all out.
Yeah, you know, and as we like to say sometimes, it's always easier said than done when we're sitting here in the luxury of our casting booth. You know, there's a lot of pressure on this young talent here, especially on a grand final stage. So sometimes those first game jitters can get to you as well. You know, who knows if this was, you know, I'm not sure if this was Camas's map pick. Excuse me, I'll eventually get that out. But I assume so because I believe they were technically the higher seed. So Southridge will have an opportunity. It is a best of 3. And so I think right now you're just working 1 kill at a time, 1 round at a time. And that can potentially lead to 1 game at a time.
And those first game jitters, I really hope. And oh my God, La Paranota's already dead.
That was a fast one from Waylay on the Sheriff. And that can be a little bit deflating in the sales there, D'Lo.
Fastest draw here in Ascent. Quickest draw on the west side. That was disgusting work. Tuna says not to be outshone. Hey, buddy, I'm the one who got the 4K. You hop back in place so I can grab some Shatter, Everest. Smoke dissipates, and they take down the Waylay, put him in their place. Ronum drops their body double. Tuna one taps the Eula, and it's advantage Camas, 4-2.
Take flight.
They got the advantage, but can they solidify? Lula, excuse me, Everest both finding picks here now. Ronum tucked toward mid. We've seen him with the Odin and many weapons, but not able to do it this time. It's Everest on the triple, and these pistol rounds have been phenomenal, but you gotta get through Diamond Dude. And look, it's 4 health versus, I think, 30 of Diamond Dude. This is not going to be an easy task, but it is a winnable one for Southridge.
This is spooky. What? Lulu's done a good job so far in the ones. Let's see how they do this time around. Unfortunately, it's aimed a bit too high. Had to put it between the eyes. And maybe, just maybe, those game jitters came in to play in that moment. Diamond Dude gets off the defuse, and it's pistol round going to Camas.
You forget. I always play.
Yeah, that's tough. I felt like Southridge really needed to win that pistol round. So for them, you know, this is going to be a tough game from here on out. They don't really have funds, but they don't really have rounds to give for free either. And so we might see some investing. If they are going to invest, I'd love to see them all invest together. And again, just looking to get some rounds on the board, build a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence heading into what potentially could be Southridge's map pick.
Okay, Sniper on Eula. Been a bit quiet when it comes to the kill department, again, because of that kind of stock tank role they've been playing. But no, they're going to be handing it off to someone else instead. Okay, makes sense. Smoke comes out, and Classic's equipped. Southridge going to try to eco and eke their way through this next round.
Oh, they're sending quite a few up cat here. The pressure does appear to be heading toward this A site, but you take a look at the mini-map, and Camas, I think, has guessed correctly here. They've read the playbook. They've put in the homework here. Now looking to solidify a big win in grand finals here in this first best of 1. They've got a commanding lead. DSW immediately destroys the Lear. Tuna, Lolopera, finding trades, and now it's Diamond Dude for another one at mid.
Dear God in heaven, but DSW goes down to the underworld courtesy of Lula. But look at what Rodin's got. Odin back in pocket. I see a low health bar on that Yoru. It's about to be torn to shreds unless La Paranota says otherwise.
Well, we've seen some crazy clutches. Unfortunately, there isn't going to be one here. Diamond Dude has been an absolute menace, an arch nemesis for this squad. And I'm wondering if this is the Diamond Dog Rocket League, who also has been insane. But right now, Eula in toward the chin side and the right click. We trust in Southridge. Winning a eco round is absolutely insane. This could be that single spark to rekindle this flame here for them.
That matters so much. That matters so much, dude. Holy, excellent work. Excellent faith by Southridge. I love the fact that they're playing with the confidence, and they should, right? They upset the first seed. I really hope that in their minds and their hearts, they're not thinking, oh, we're just lucky to be here. No, you have skills. You deserve to be here. You deserve to take this first set, and you gotta believe it to achieve it.
You gotta believe it to achieve it. We love it. We'll see if they can come away with some big rounds. You feel like they gotta start padding multiple rounds in a row here. Camas just 2 away from match point. The flank comes in from behind, but you're able to deal with it this time.
Unfortunately, Tuna lets off the shots, but just maybe wasn't nipping in the right spot. Sova is rather low for it, but Camas do bat the man disadvantage. Spike in the pocket here of the Brim. Ronan only equipping that classic, but they've proven before that they can do just as well on the pistol.
They have dominated on the pistol, but Southridge starting to build some of that momentum. Ronan will tuck into the corner. He has been spotted here by Eula, so the call out will come in. Perla Nota cautious of that mid. Sova's able to get back to a safe position here, though. That initial shot doesn't connect, and now Diamond Dude in a good position here near mid.
I'd be cautious too if I was La Paranosa, knowing that Diamond Dude is still alive, and unfortunately I Miss Her is not, but here comes Eula to silence them. Catches Diamond Dude looking up high when they should have been low. 2-3 here, still Southridge advantage.
30 seconds left.
Sova for Southridge, unfortunately, has been caught with utility in hand a few times. Got to be careful popping those out in the open. What I do like, though, is that we see Eula at a minimum finding that trade. And when you can get the trade on the Diamond Dude, who's been that big clutch factor here for Camas, it makes these rounds much more winnable, it seems, for Southridge.
Let's see, though. Yeah. Camas can try to make the hasty retake. La Paranota still is alive and positioned to stop DSW from the approach. Paranoid comes out, but just goes a bit wide left, and that's all the opening Cypher needs to open their skull. Only gonna be Ronan left. What can they do? Not much.
I like this from Lapalo Nota as well. Had no intention of using that camera, but throws it out immediately, knowing that the opponent is going to want to destroy it. Swings out why they flick over to destroy it, allows those first shots to connect and really win that gun battle. And so now we see Southridge getting that footing, that traction that we talked about. They're anchoring in to climb this tall mountain, this uphill battle. So they've cut that lead in half, but they can't get complacent. They've got to continue to string these round wins along.
It's the climb, and speaking of, Everest has got ultimate, so we'll see if the Queen, Reina, can do something about it. But again, you have to really string these kills together for the Reina to find that maximum efficiency. Tuna trying to do the same. Got to make sure that they make up for that unfortunate wayward flank that we saw last round.
Everest just being cautious here toward the top of Cat, aware that there's usually someone posted up in toward that market side. It's a 3-2 split at the moment for Camas, and well, Neon has tucked themselves in toward Wine and are waiting patiently with bated breath. They might be able to find Yoru. Timing is going to be huge here.
No, it always is. DSW lurks on the corner. I Miss Her. Got to make sure you don't miss this potential ambush around the corner. Waylay biding their time, springing their haunches before they explode on out. DSW is the first one to let off shots, and already Sova's dead. Tuna gobbles up Lula, but Rotom's going to be the cause. Does not matter. It's a 2K for the fish before they go down.
Plaid stripes in the kill feed, but now it's red as Lapero Nota finds the triple, and now we'll back off here. Needs to pop that reload. It's a 1v1 situation and is able to rotate away from the site knowing that Omen is here. I think Omen's going to have a bit of an idea now, especially with that smoke screen coming out, but their trap wire is in the way. Laparo Nota has made it to site. We'll be able to get this plant down with ease. No ult for Omen, so a true 1v1 now.
And drops all the cyber cages too, just to ensure that plant was able to be put down unfettered. Risky decision, but you have to have faith in your gun skills. And having seen so far what the Cypher's capable of, I don't blame them whatsoever. DSW's got to be shaken.
Not a tough spot, or it certainly is a tough spot to be in, but for, I think, this Omen and Camas, right, they're up by 5, and so they've got a little bit of breathing room. They don't have to get nervous yet. We see Omen trying to clear all of these angles. Now that Lapara has been spotted, I'd love to see more of a game of cat and mouse. You don't have to peek here. Just continue to buy up time, especially now that you're losing the battle. And you could have played time here. Omen, I don't know. That's a risky go. I think I would have tried to defuse that. It would have came down to the wire, but Omen finds the kill, but it's Laparo Nota that does buy enough time to find the clutch. Southridge, 3 rounds in a row and having a much better time on this attacking side.
I gotta agree. I feel like Camas could have tried to invest for the defuse, but I guess DSW just didn't want to lose that rifle. Just gotta keep it, nurse it to your side. Fair enough, your security rifle does matter, but I don't know, man. Even though you're right, they've got a cushion to fall back on. This is the team that upset the big dogs, Camas, just because y'all are the moneymakers, the paper printers. One of the best teams that WSSEA's got to offer does not mean that you can't meet the same fate.
Yeah, I was talking to Zen, a talented player from Rogers, and he said, hey, we were doing well. It took one bad round, and we kind of got in our own heads, and it began to fall apart. Of course, that was only a best of 1, but it can happen, and it happens with great picks like this here at mid from Lapero Nota.
Tuna going down just feels unfortunate. I feel like it's been very hot or cold, yes or no, and right now, you're in, you're out. No, we're in on A, baby. All members of Southridge storm the gates, begin the siege. DSW cannot save La Paranota from taking out Ronin, but they do find vengeance.
They do get that vengeance, but this is what I talked about, that attacking side. Sometimes at the Scholastic level, they're able to run it down. They've got that player advantage, and so they take advantage of it. They find the picks, and now it's up to this post-plant position, but they're kind of peeking a little bit too much. They can just be patient, allow the opponents to walk into their crosshair. Instead, they're getting discombobulated, checking everywhere. Bodies are falling. Diamond Dude, a big one, but again, that trade at a minimum. Eula now becoming a staple for this squad. The Molly in place, the blind there as well, and Waylay dancing around, but it's the dance of death that will lead to the Molly through fire and flames. Eula and Southridge get 7.
Yeah, try to utilize the mobility latent in Waylay's kit, that light speed, to maybe try to find high ground. I couldn't tell if they landed in the right spot they wanted to as they nestled themselves in that corridor. But like you said, Dance of Death takes 2 to tango, and Eula's going to step on their toes. Again, man, Tuna, 15 and 15. It just goes to show the very extreme spectrum that this player exists on, where they're able to cause immense destruction, but at the same time, sometimes they're their own worst enemy. 4 ultimates to 3 here in favor of Camas. What can they do with them?
Yeah, we talked about some of these teams holding on the alts for a little bit too long. So, I mean, when you have 4, typically you don't want to see all 4 expended in a single round. You hope to get a round win with maybe just 2 going out and then saving the following 2 for the following round. So we'll see if Camas can piece them together here, but showing an early rotation toward this A site as well. Camas able to mirror it, so we see that pressure toward mid. I mean, Southridge Neon in great positioning to hold a rotation.
Tuna hanging back a little bit more, trying to be the stock tank this time to make sure that their life is not going to be wasted, as now they see their time to enter on in. It's a hasty retreat from Southridge, but they're going to be stuck between a rock and a big fish. Who do they snap up first? No one! La Paranota drops him with a single shot to the dome.
Insane plays. La Paranota has been a talisman for this squad for quite some time, and now we see some big plays coming out. The rotation, I think, a beautiful one as well. They don't show any face toward mid, but they keep a lurker here to spot this Waylay. Cypher and crew will maybe shift toward mid, but now the entry is good, and DSW has no vision.
And they're deciding to spray through the smoke. The enemy is willing to, but you're not. Diamond Dude does drop a misser. Ronan, Odin's down Eula, takes down Everest on their hallmark gun, but La Paranota puts an end to that and grabs the intel.
Last player standing knows exactly where the competition is, though. That pressure is coming in from lane side. La Paranota caught almost in the animation of the gun coming out, and it's too much. The 2v1, Diamond Dude, the triple, and after Camas slipping a little bit along the way, has gathered themselves here in round 18. It's an important win for them, and now they are just 1 away from match point.
7-11, baby. Grab your Slurpees. Get your convenience store hot dogs. It's gonna take everything, all the energy you've got left in the tank, just to win the first map of this best of 3 series. And man, it just comes down to, if Camas can get Tuna to get a kill or a pick, I think Southridge are in such a worse position. But on the flip side, La Paranota, the longer they stay alive, the more deadly things get for Camas. That really was just the fact that you got outgunned, outmanned. And when you have this Cypher already representing the strength of 7 players alone, it's a really intimidating prospect for Camas to face off against them. So you've got your target set out for you.
Yeah, I feel like Camas in their own right has their own raid boss, the juggernaut of Diamond Dude as well.
Bingo.
And so, I think it's important for both of these teams to try and eliminate that force as quickly as possible. In these last few rounds, we've seen Southridge losing that initial gun battle, but often finding that trade on Diamond Dude. That last round was the first time we didn't see it in quite some time, and well, Diamond Dude did have a big clutch.
Nice. Okay, Tuna grabs Everest. Waylay on the flank as well. Just going to be able to spectate the body. Tuna's handiwork says, nice job there, buddy. Watch out for your order. Guys, you realize there are enemy teams, right? All right, Waylay figured it out. Lula Bula, unfortunately, a bit late to the scene. Tuna now finds shots that I miss here. It seems like it's going to be, once again, dynamic duo at work.
Back and forth they go. Eula will find a way to put down Tuna and try to inch back into this one, but Waylay from behind finds the pick, and now the device down in a very awkward spot. This is going to be a tough clutch for La Paranota, but it starts off with a pick onto that Diamond Dude.
Looking for the full house once again. What's the river gonna see? We got the flop, got the turn, and unfortunately, Waylay flops to the ground lifeless. La Palanota, 1v2, not too much life left, and out comes the bolt from Ronan. Forces them out into the open. But Ronan as well does not want to face this Cypher in open combat.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to either. Ronan, though, just, you know, again, the Odin, the Phantom, it doesn't really matter. Has been a big clutch factor. And so now they get to match point, and they get there early. They've got 5 additional opportunities to close it out, and that's what I was worried about on that defensive side for Southridge. 3 rounds, just not quite enough to get you over the edge. So now needing 5 in a row, and the economy is a bit iffy here for a few players.
Camas have done it before. Surely Southridge can as well. But yeah, when you're facing down the prospect that it's mandatory for you now, all of a sudden it becomes so much scarier. Okay, we'll see what they can do here. Not much. Tuna's already taken down their biggest threat.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. In just a matter of milliseconds, instantly put down. And now that allows Neon to rotate over toward this B site. Does get a little bit shifty early, though, and it looks like everybody's rotating away toward the A. If Southridge can explode onto this B site, they are going to have a big player advantage here.
Even so, you've lost one of your biggest, one of your best offensive linchpins. Ronan's got the Odin in pocket as well. The biggest oppressor that can suppress you with a hail of gunfire. Bolts rattle in the chambers, eager to find flesh. 3 members stack up, potentially to their doom.
And here they come, but Ronan, it's not the Odin that sings out yet. The hailstorm of bullets prevented for a moment, swapping to the other side. Knows that the pressure's coming in from
Tuna's
main
here.
and from lane, and Ronan will find one, but it's Plaid Stripes. Lula Bula finding a 2K of their own in toward the back of the site. The plant will go down, but it's a 2v3 that favors Camas.
This is scary stuff. You still got the Waylay live. Double duelists on the horizon. Can they try to complete the set? All you need is to get trips on the kills, but Diamond Dude's still alive. Your Cypher isn't.
Yes, W will look to find a smoke or a potential blind here as well. Now they pressure onto the site. They've got some space, but Lula from behind the dance of death. One more time. It's a quadra. Making it a Southridge with a huge clutch here in this one.
Disgusting work there from the Yoru just when they needed it most. Lula Bula, I'm a believer, as they managed to take down everyone on the side of Camas. Not even a fair fight as well. From behind, from duress, they make the press, and they also make it a still competitive series. 8-12, can Southridge hang on more?
Man, when the world needed them the most, Yoru, Lula Bula shows up huge. An ace as well. You talk about inspiring your teammates, boosting that confidence, all while maybe stealing some of that momentum away from your opponents. It happens at the perfect time in the game, and now they just need 4 more in a row, 1 round at a time here, as we see him beginning to press onto the site, looking for the info with the dimensional drip.
This is so good. Lula Bula's already on the hot streak. They're providing so much value for the team. They emerge right behind Diamond Dude. They've been crushed into chips. Eula takes him out, and now things are looking rough for Camas.
It's tough, but Camas has been able to battle back. Can they do it without Diamond Dude? I think that's the big question here. Waylay on this flank will be spotted, dips back to safety here as well. DSW has found a pick. Misser will get that one, though, as they don't miss the shots. Everest another, and now Eula battling back. Southridge has come to duke this one out.
Okay, they're not going home anytime soon, guys. They said, we're going to make this as long and drawn out as possible. Camas, you guys thought you had easy pickings. You thought just because the first seed wasn't here to challenge you that this would be a breeze. We'll blow over when we're all dead. Rip this first map from our cold fingers.
It's coming down to the wire. We knew it was going to be a nail biter, but for Camas, they've already gotten 3 rounds on this attacking side, or the defending side, excuse me. And so they know at a minimum they're guaranteed overtime. I think that's nice to have that breathing room, that little bit of a less pressure on your shoulders. And now Tuna finds one. Can't get a second, though, and it's a good trade here from La Palanota.
Everest is just not the target you really want to prioritize. Odin comes through. Intel as well from the recon. Dart sweeps out. I miss her. And also can try to maybe look for the Yoru as well. But the enemies are starting to surround him. Outflanked, outgunned.
Good job by LePera to cut this down before it happens too soon. Lula finding Waylay here as well. And this time it's Southridge with a player advantage. So they're able to find that 1v3 clutch. Can they just come away with a big 2v2 win now as DSW has found one?
Oh, Eula maybe a bit too much hesitation there. Drops the smoke, but really could have dropped some bodies instead. Diamond Dudes got their back completely turned to him, but they have no idea they're in the best position for an ambush possible.
I think they're really wanting to wait for the audio sound. They're wanting to use this ult to let the molten lava rain down from the skies here to prevent any diffusal from coming in. So I understand the patience. It's tough. We have a little bit of extra information, but LePera finds this kill. Time's ticking away. We will see that ult come down, and now Eula luxury back off. So yes, I think normally we would see Eula peek there, trying to find something, play with a teammate, but because they have their ult, they play that post-plant position, they solidify that round win, and now just 2 away from OT.
Yeah, no, they shut up the Omen. They'll shut me up as well. You're absolutely correct. I didn't realize they had ultimate in pocket, but that was perfectly played by Eula. Again, stock tank. I love their cautiousness with their own life. In that instance, too, in hindsight, of course, 2020, but we're trying to get up to 12. Southridge are really within arm's reach of it. Camas, you've got to stop underestimating them. And I don't think they are at this point. I think we are certainly playing with a lot more caution, but maybe that's even too much. Maybe Camas have stopped playing their own game plan. That explosiveness of before, that momentum is really not being seen.
Diamond Dude will tuck in, feeling lucky with a Bucky one more time. Can he put the 12 gauge to the rib cage? They're going to spray through the smoke, and Lula has found them. Everest another, and now the domino effect in full effect. DSW will try to stop one, but one is all they've got so far.
You had the shotty, why not send one through the smoke, through the floorboards instead is where Lula Balula drops an entire mag. Anyone who approaches is gonna get rinsed. And Camas, man, they might have washed away their chances this first map. Already spike planted, 2 members. The ones remaining are not the ones you're hoping for a clutch. Diamond Dude's already in the dust, and Rotom's dead too.
Great job here by Southridge. Again, not only winning the rounds, but winning them very decisively, putting the stacks in the bank, building up those ults. And from 4 rounds in a row to another 4 rounds in a row. Luckily for Camas, they've saved in that previous one. They've got 3 ults and funds to have that full buy, including the Odin. It's going to come down to this final round. Can Southridge push it into overtime? If they do, they might just steal Camas's map pick away from them.
This is so spooky, man. This is so spooky. Empress online, Hunter's Fury as well. But it's worth noting, I miss her has, kind of not been on the mark when it comes to the high KD ratio. At the very least, we can try to grab some battle damage. Tuna try to perform what we've seen before. They're locked in alongside Waylay here for the pinch at the top of the key. They nestle back into the coves, waiting for the shrimp to strike.
Patience, it's a virtue and can pay off big time, but this time it's Lula Bola who just seems to be on fire. How do you slow him down? It's looking like another explosive push here. Lula will have to teleport away. The Hunter's Fury comes out early. Well, it's not going to be able to deny any plan at this point.
Empress dropped as well, but this coup is not going to be bloodless, methinks. Lula Bula, position beneath hell. Lear comes through and they find the high ground as well. Not quite sure that through the brim smoke, there's actually several members waiting. Baranota not going to be sprayed down. Instead, save your prayers for the next round. Rotom's dead, 3-5 in favor of South.
They have a real opportunity now. DSW from the heavens above will rain down death and destruction here as well.
Nice!
Baiting around, and now it's a 3v3. Waylay answers back. The defusel's going in. Time ticking away, but it will be killed. Lula, a big pick on the Diamond Dude to deny the plant. The Hunter's Fury. And Yoro and Lula Bola, the Quadra, have done it down. 9-3 at halftime. They find a way to get into OT. And now if I'm Camas, I'm starting to get a little bit worried.
Bro, I've been worried for 3 rounds if I'm Camas. I was worried yesterday. This is a panic. You've got to get a pick on Tuna. Tuna has got to get a pick, all right? We cannot see you at the seafood market today, bro. You're being sold at record low prices, Tuna. I need to see you prove that value. You've got the spike in pocket. Now can you get the kill?
Oh my, talking about being at the edge of my seat here. You couldn't ask for a better game one to kick off the grand finals here for WSSEA. Of course, again, brought to you by Landfest, and it's Tuna. Look at the quick and the pace here, trying to pressure in. They've had success toward the A site, but this is a smoke and mirrors play. You look at the mini-map, and there's an early rotation shifting away from that bomb over to a B.
The walls come down, and Tuna has no cover. At the very least, Everest gets baited out by taking them out, and Rotom finds the counter kill. But again, you know that Tuna's capable of so much more. To see them go down for the 1-for-1 does not feel great. iMixer sprays blindly through the smoke, but an eye for an eye is the plan. Waylay takes him out.
Good pick from Waylay to keep that player advantage tucked in toward log side.
Great
the blind
blind.
is beautiful, though, and Lula shut down by DSW. One is all they get this time, and it's been a sea of multi-frags for them, but Eula spots the teleport. Lapera finds one as well, and now in a 2v1. All they got to do is clear the back of boat here.
They got the Cyphers on deck, but my Cypher spits sicker! Diamond Dude drops him! They catch the defuse! It's a clutch victory there for Camas!
That's a break apart in communication here for Southridge. They had the numbers, but Lapera drops down before the Brim smoke hits, and then Brim comes in after, baits the defusal, but doesn't have much health to work with. It only takes one of those bullets through the spray. A bit of just miscommunication from Southridge costs them a round that they realistically probably should have been able to take away had they used that buddy system and looked to pressure together in toward boat.
You got to look both ways before you cross the street, man. You just got to, because Diamond Dude is behind a 747, revving that engine, all too happy to mow you down. Again, Camas, hot hand, and also at match point. Southridge, can you hang on just a bit longer?
It's tough here in OT. There's not a ton of room for error, but we got to remember Camas is on the attack or on the defending side where, you know, it seems like a lot of these teams have had troubles, unless those names didn't get swapped at the top there. But yeah, we do see Tuna here now on the defense, but that attacking side, both teams have done better on. So
Oh, no.
Shifting in, they find the pick, but Waylay has found two from the corner.
Down A.
Okay, Paranota still up. Both Cyphers are. That's all that matters if you ask me. Sova Cypher. Who takes it this time?
The plant goes down. It's a step in the right direction. Numbers are equal. The mirror match set that could decide it all here. Rotom on the outro, now looking for some intel.
Doesn't quite hit the dart, unfortunately. Rotom sends a spray through with the Odin as well. Knows they've dipped down beneath hell. La Palanota this time reverses history, changes the textbooks, but Rotom answers back by taking out the Cypher. Sova on Sova, 1v1 match point. Who gets it?
Miss her, does not miss the shots. Clicking heads and getting bread. Southridge battles back when it matters most. And so far, both of these teams play much better on that attacking side. For me, it's who's going to be able to find this defensive stop first. If you can win the defensive round, you've really given yourself a best chance at closing out this series. Or this first game, sorry.
I should have gotten a bigger glass of water. I should have gotten a way bigger glass of water, let me tell you, Hot. This is ridiculous. 32-23 for La Palanota. 28-15 from Diamond Dude. You can see right there, like, the different styles of play. Whereas La Palanota is more of a hammer, Diamond Dude's a pickaxe, right? A bit more efficient, a bit less for breaking bones, and a bit more for building houses. Rotom trying to build up the foundations of potentially getting match point again for Camas. This Deuce is off to a very slow start.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we've seen the ebb and flow really change here quite a bit. Camas, I think, respecting now Southridge a bit more as we see them slow things down. Cypher trusted here to hold down this B site, so this stack may work out.
Okay,
but
Tuna
does find the first one. The Lear will slow things down a bit more again, but now Brimmy with the stimmy, and they're looking to make something happen.
Let's see if they can find anyone through the cyber cage. Are you brave enough to send a spray through the smoke? Not quite, so Rotom and Tuna piece you up. It's going to be one more there for the Waylay. Everest does grab one on the way out, but look who's left. It's La Paranota.
La Paranota has been a clutch factor, but oh my, and finds another there. time stacked against them, though, and they need 2 more big kills. Look at where Sova's playing as well. He's got the Hunter's Fury. He could just sit way back toward the spawn side. It's not needed because of Diamond Dude. Again, these teams winning that attacking side, it's going to take that defensive stop to really set them apart.
Jesus, man. Jeez. Okay, well, the fact of the matter is we're seeing now between these last 3 rounds, literally, the Cypher 1v1 has changed hands each time. It started off, I think, with La Paranota beating Diamond Dude. Diamond Dude beat them last time. Or sorry, no, it was the other way around. Diamond Dude took them out, then La Paranota, then Diamond Dude again. This is really a battle for the ages. This will go down in WSSEA Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell my grandkids about this series.
And they're going to tell their grandkids about this series. It will live on forever, potentially here. And we're only into game 1, D-Lo. There's still a minimum of 1 more map to be played here. Lula clearing out wine here as well. Cautious of this first initial trap. And we'll try to cheat for it. Does able to pop that trap as well through the smoke. We'll pop the flash. But look, it's smoke and mirrors for Southridge as well. They're looking to head toward the B site.
Oh, it's tricky, tricky. This time we're not falling for your schemes, but look who's waiting in the wings. It's a lone tuna fish in the coral, in the kelp. Can you spot yourself a big fish and catch yourself a 300-pounder, a whopper, really? Tuna lies in wait, a bit more conservative than we're used to seeing. Everett's going to be the first one to find him.
Well, Tuna, Eula, back and forth we go, looking for the plant, and unfortunately we'll shift into the crosshair of Waylay, able to find one now toward the back of the site, on board with La Paranota, still standing, and as well as this Euro is a good thing for Southridge.
Deeply entrenched, La Paranota sends some shots through the smoke, recognizing to make a rotation to the right side, instantly calls it out. Those shots so beautifully placed, it's music to my ears, and it's unfortunately going to be the death of Ronim. Odin sprays down Eula, 2-3.
2-3 here now. Southridge trying to hold on. Time still on their side. They're trying to play this time as well. Diamond Dude and crew are going to quicken the pace, though. And they've got a smoke of their own. The plant's going down. They've got to step forward, but DSW is covering it. There's not enough time. Oh! And DSW with the shorty. Camas takes it in overtime. 15-13.
Oh my God. What a map. I was about to say what a series. It's not even a series. It's one singular map, Hot Sauce. That was so beautifully played by both sides. Clearly, there's some amazing performances from each of these ciphers, but the other characters that rear their head, I think of, honestly, Diamond Dude, just, how do I not even continue to expound on that? But the Waylay as well. Waylay and Tuna, those few maps, or those few rounds rather, where it's like what you mentioned, the game plan you laid out, explosive power. Those full houses, they laid them out and say, read them and weep. On the other side, Lula, I think, was a fantastic force of chaos and destruction from Southridge. When La Paranota couldn't do it by themselves, the Euro was there to back you up.
I mean, yeah, Camas had 4 players with 20 bombs, which is absolutely insane. Tuna with 10 first bloods. And equally on the other side, though, there was a lot of great members for Southridge. We saw Sova pick it up in the second half of the game. I think Sova was maybe just a little bit too quiet in that first half, but I mean, what a job by Southridge to be down 9-3 at halftime, to fight back in this one as well against that much higher seed. Like, this speaks volumes for how talented this young school or this young team is. And so I look forward to this next map. I'd love for them to be able to bring it back and push us into a map number 3.
Absolutely. And I look forward to grabbing a mug of nice hot pipe and tea for my voice box, because I can only imagine the disgusting plays we're about to see in just a moment. But that's going to have to wait for just a bit longer. Stick around. More WSSEA Valorant action and some cool highlight reels coming at you in just a bit.
Silence.
One enemy remaining. Didn't want back in a flash.
On target.
On the money.
Down. Go, go. One enemy remaining. Long. We did. One enemy remaining. Clutch. Nice try. Go, go, go. One enemy remaining. Spike. Sick. Last player standing. Last player standing.
Put down.
One enemy remaining.
3 out of 5. I have retrieved the spike.
Clutch. Spike down B. Win. One enemy remaining. Spike down. Spike down B.
Neutralized.
One enemy remaining. A. Got one. Spike down B. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Prepare for hellfire!
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Is ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 Fall Season Grand Finals, brought to you by LandFest. I don't know, my heart's still beating out of my chest from that last one. It was a nail-biter. It went all the way down to the very end, and now Southridge, backs against the wall. It's do or die. They need a win here on Lotus, a map that historically Camas has absolutely dominated on. My name is Hot Sauce, still in the booth with D-Lo. Thoughts on this next matchup that's taken on place in that lovely scenery behind you there at Lotus?
Rut-row. That's genuinely how I feel about this. This seems like a really scary position to be in for Southridge. They've got to be confident on this map, otherwise, because you got to imagine they watched back the game tape, right? These teams are not in a position where you can afford to not do your homework. You have to make sure that you're studying up. They know that Cam has played these two rounds consecutively, back-to-back on the same map, and you know they played it beautifully. I gave them the tip. I said, let this map be behind you, not in front of you. Southridge say, we know better. I'm convinced they do. They absolutely could wipe me. So let's see if maybe they've got a plan behind it, a method to the madness. On Camas' side, I'm curious, do the Quesadillas change their double duelist? Because last time we saw them go to this map, it was the Reina. This time around, it was the Waylay on Ascent. I wonder if they stick by it just to keep that momentum, that comfort in pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Reina is probably a little bit more suitable on this map. There are some good verticality options, but I feel like we've seen them use Reina on this map time and time again. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that switch back. But yeah, you're right. I mean, playing well with that Waylay in the previous one. So sometimes if you're comfortable, hey, keep it running. But for me, Southridge, this is a bit of a gamble, right? You're going to Lotus. It's a map that Camas has always dominated on. But at the same time, if you can take this map away from Camas before heading into that third and final map, all of a sudden, all of that momentum then shifts to your corner where you've beat this team on one of their best maps, if not their best map. It really does give you a good chance to close out the series, but this will be the biggest hurdle yet for Southridge.
Reina's back, baby. She's assuming her throne. She's got the crown and everything. I'm seeing a jet hover. I always love a good jet. Some inclement weather on the horizon. Some high precipitation of knives raining down from the sky. Phoenix would keep that double duelist mojo going, just a bit of a different flavor. Cypher gotta remain the same. No one's surprised. I like the Clove, but I also just like the fact that, honestly, they were playing that pretty well, Eula, in the sense that they're keeping their life very well preserved, and I can only imagine how much more deadly that is when they're not wasting that life super willy-nilly, and then they still have the res in the back pocket. The fade, though, is what comes out here from Camas, a bit of a deviation than what we've seen before.
Yeah, I'm going to swap to the Sky at the last moment. I was kind of hoping to see that fade. I think fade is a great replacement for Sova. We see that on the other side for the following Sova as well, a character that can really get that good intel. I think Clove is a slightly better spot than Brim as well. With those smokes, you can use them after death. Your ult, you can come back to life. We did see the ult from Brim and Eula in that previous one did clutch up around in the final there. But yeah, Cypher or a KJ, I think, is a must because on defense, you're split between three sites. It's often a 1-1-3 or a 1-2-3. But so we see those Cyphers kind of anchoring down that C site a lot of times. The double duelist, the run it back from Lulabula could really help them enter into the site. I miss her with the squids. That also a very valuable ult. And I think this is great. Fade and Sova, I think, are a little bit higher on the skill ceiling. So if you're having a tough game or a tough day, maybe you're not fragging out as much, I think Sky is a great go-to because you can hang out in the background. You can flash your team in. If they get hurt, you can heal your team up as a whole. You have the ult there as well. And so there's a lot of really good tools in the tool belt for the Sky kit here. And so I do like that swap up here last minute.
You know what Southridge has in general? You mentioned it a little bit. Sustain. You have the res from Eula, you have the self-res from Run It Back, and you have the heals from the Sky. This could be a really rough battle of attrition here. And we know that Camas likes to trade. Tuna likes to trade. That's not really something you can afford to do when the Phoenix can just kind of come right back at you and say, run it back turbo. So you got to make sure if you're Camas, you're taking that into account against this new comp.
You got to take it all into account here is really you got to play at the top of your game. That's why you're in the grand finals. It's what you fought so hard for throughout the regular season and continued it into this postseason run. You're hoping it all spills over into the final day. But this could be the final map of the day. Southridge doesn't do something here. We see, again, Camas, I think, really beginning to respect the talent of Southridge now, though, and not just W keying it everywhere immediately.
I respect that as well, and they definitely deserve it, for sure. Neon walls come up, and Neon goes down. It's the same thing we saw in the Pistols round of Yilden Day.
Back and forth, Lapera, now DSW, trades come in, Southridge, they've got the upper advantage momentarily. The Molly will come in as Rotom does trade back, but it is all Plaid Stripes here for a moment. DSW up top will catch Misser in utility, and that's been a common problem for iMisser. We see them going down with utility in hands a lot of times. You got to make sure that you orientate yourself in a good position when dropping that utility. You don't want to be out in the open and kind of put yourself in that position to go down without a fight.
Again, buddy or not, look both ways before you pull out anything that does not have lethal intent. DSW certainly has some murderous intentions, but unfortunately, Lulabula is going to outmatch you in that respect. It's going to be a first Pistols round going the way of Southridge.
Southridge has done a great job of winning some of these pistol rounds here tonight. I think it's something that's really helped them along the way. We talked about it. It's those following couple rounds, like that third through, I don't know, fifth round, that they really just got to work on a little bit when battling back. And if not winning them, just working on taking some of the money and weapons away from Camas. So they've got another opportunity to do so, this time here on Lotus. For Camas, they should be ecoing out for the most part. We see Tuna taking a gamble. And again, if that gamble doesn't pay off, it could allow Southridge to put a couple rounds in a row.
That's the thing. Tuna just feels like a roulette game. It feels like we're letting it all ride on 17 black and just seeing if our chips come back to us. And sometimes there's massive payouts, and sometimes the house wins. In fact, they say the house always wins, but Camas so far, they got one series up on this, so what do they know? Quite a lit, actually. We'll see as we see him position around this little corner. A quick nod to Diamond Dude of respect. Trying to use sign language since they can't talk too loudly. Lulablu's around the corner, but they're dead.
Reyna, again, first on the waylay. Now the Reyna. That flash will come out. Does give intel as well. You get that audio cue that lets you know the flash worked. Libera Lanolta will put the Reyna down, but the plant is going down on the B side. It can be hard to pressure, but this is also a map that's, or a site that's a little bit easier to retake. A lot of angles to cover here.
Ooh, unfortunately, Diamond Dude stands just as moment as iMisser crouches. La Paranota is the trade, but Rotom fades into obscurity right after. Tuna, with the gamble, is going to be able to find the shot and actually manage to get this all evened up. Everest, though, quickly answers back in combination with Eula, and that's going to be a successful defuse, and once again, second round goes to Southridge.
Same as we saw in game number one. They get these first two rounds. They do lose 3 members, which does make it tough, but this is where we start to worry. Now, typically, again, your opponents do win this third round. They'll have a full buy while you're bonusing. So it's really not until that 4th round, 5th round that we see both teams with that full buy where things can really start to be decided.
Rotom back on the Odin. And I will say, you know, up against these more experienced players, it does not look as impressive, as oppressive as before, but they still do make it work. It's tried and true for a reason, and Rotom can cover a surprising amount of area, hold a significant amount of Southridge at bay with just that one weapon. So we'll see if they can succeed at that just from this round.
I think it's a little bit more favored on the defensive side, honestly, and we see, again, you know, them starting out on that attacking side. So it's sometimes a little bit more tough to get that value with it, but it's just always such a devastating gun. 100 rounds in the mag. You can just put the bullets downfield. You can spray through almost any wall, and it can be tough to deal with. But that's also tough to deal with. It's this Reyna here finding the opening pick.
Great Leer lowers their defense, and they're going to faint from battle. Camas with the advantage. Both duelists still alive. That feels good. Tuna, that secret torpedo you're waiting to launch in the direction of Lolu at any moment. Spike planted. How can Southridge handle this?
We'll see exactly how they opt to navigate these shaky, rough waters here as Lulabula will have the util. Now they'll look to pressure in together. The Leer goes up for a bit of a blind. It finds a few, but Tuna, now the trade comes in. That's a good one to take, but Diamond Dude still standing. Reyna there as well.
Oh no!
Is on fire, but needs to get through to. Has the ult. Should they opt to use it?
Time's not on their side, and they decided to just try to go at it with their gun and grit. Not going to be enough, though. Camas, man, oh man. I mean, I'm sure these high schoolers have done their social studies homework, but history really does tend to repeat itself, huh?
Yeah, and again, that's typical, right? They're in that third round. It's their full buy round, whereas Southridge is bonusing in. So they lost a few members. They wouldn't technically be able to buy from that previous round, which 3 of them did die. And so, again, that's pretty typical. The problem here is now they're trying to limp into this round, and it's a round that they should try to stay around that $1,800 mark so that we can get our first full buy of both teams in round 5. So they're making their job a little bit tougher than it has to be, but it's that risk versus reward. If they get a big dub here, it really would start to put some of that troubled weight on the shoulders of Camas.
We'll see if they can try to put a strain on the paper makers. But so far, man, business is booming. Reyna plants in the corner. Everest does know they're there, but to know and to do something about it, very different things. Lula's already doing something about it. 2 shots, 2 kills. Diamond Dude puts him out.
Diamond Dude has been just a huge asset for the squad. Everest, though, a nice Sheriff shot. They could potentially upgrade to the Vandal here as well, and that pressure is coming in through mid. And for Southridge, they have 1 on C and 2 through this A-Link as well. They've got a perfect pincer play opportunity here, but Diamond Dude finding that pick will spell a little trouble.
Okay, La Para la Nota. Fastest draw in the West. The Odin does have a disadvantage in their sense. It's very unwieldy. Very obvious. Very blunt. Tuna takes down Eula. That slide's not going to work on me. Instead, you can go die. Southridge end up taking the round.
And this is a big turning point for them. This is at the point last time where we saw them go on to lose 5-6 rounds in a row here. So they stop it immediately. It's a full buy from Camas. And now you look at Camas, that economy is in shambles a little bit. They've got 2 players buying into the round, but only 1 with armor, a couple classics, a Sheriff. Now, they do have some ult. So for Tuna, honestly, you could save that Sheriff. Buy armor, look to pop that ult, see if you can upgrade a weapon along the mix. But they, too, are going to take a gamble here in round 5.
I was about to say, yeah, your hands are one of the best weapons of all, Neon. Don't underestimate them. Let the ruse smoke comes through. Sheriff cocked and loaded. The shots, though, off the mark. Finally gets Everest and doesn't take any battle damage for it either.
Take this.
Damage here, Tuna. Still on this Sheriff. Trying to pressure toward the A side. We see that rotation now coming in from Southridge. It's a bit slow and being patient here as well. They've given up a lot of space toward this A site.
Run it back is available, but Eula
Spike
just needs the
planted.
bullets to take down the Reyna.
Let's go!
Pops
I
corner.
know exactly
Here comes the
where
rush
you
down
are.
from Southridge. Cypher's got the neural theft online, but Diamond Dude gets put in the dirt and Ronan as well. Lula Bula is absolutely bamboozling the competition. Camas only have 2 left, but Tuna answers back.
Eula does find the triple, though. Has done a great
Oh,
job
no.
of being a piece of the glue. And from behind, DSW, the classic. It's just not enough. Shots a bit shaky. In Southridge, we have not seen teams do this to Camas on Lotus. This is quite surprising.
Maybe they just knew something that we didn't. I guess Camas just feeling a bit unfamiliar in their home field, right? They've been away at sea for so long that it all looks foreign to them. These overgrown halls that they once used to call home are now just any other strange map that they have to do battle on. 4-1 Southridge now with the firm eco advantage. Lulabula did use that run it back prior, but again, given how aggressively and how successfully they play, it'll be back in a moment's notice.
Yeah, one of the shortest elements to work up to as well. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue there, especially with the skills you mentioned as Lulabula, but we'll see a bit of a mishap there as I think they kind of guessed they were going toward this A site. We see most of this action toward B. Phoenix lurking around this waterfall area, though. Lara Para will note the Odin, no value, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. Tuna takes out the high priority target. Big bounty on your hand there. Line comes out, Tuna's in trouble, and Ronan is going to watch their back. I miss her. Is the cover, drops DSW and Tuna. Eula takes down Ronan. 3 combined for Southridge. Advantage goes their way.
Man, they are playing so well here on
Wow.
Lotus. Eula, nice swing out, finds Diamond Dude, 2v1, but the Empress has been popped, and Reyna looking to make a clutch happen one more time. We'll spot the other Reyna, but it's Everest this time, and Reyna cannot climb that mountain. Southridge up 5-1. I'm a little bit shocked over here, I've got to be honest.
It's again, man, like these twitchy trigger fingers here. Camas are just not putting the reticles in the right spots. Their precision just seems to be a bit off the mark. You've had this ultimate here from Tuna for quite some time. Like, why not? If we're failing with the accuracy from our weapons, hey, 0 recoil feels awfully nice. Pop that ult. Do it, baby.
I agree. I mean, we say it all the time, right? We probably sound like a broken record repeating itself, but you know, when you have that ult, it's great to get it out within that round or the following round. So it's one of those things you got to keep an eye on, unless you're like a Sage, you know, you're waiting for that res, something of that manner. But realistically, we want to see those ults coming out. We'll see Eula getting ready for this smoke, and that pressure how heading all 5 members stepping into the Odin, and that's a quick collateral there.
How does that feel, Rotom? Dead at the hands of your own weapon on your own map. That's gotta be a bitter pill to swallow, but the hot lead certainly does not taste good being dished out here by this Clove. Diamond Dude is having to buy their time around the corner, trying to silently mouth the directions to their team as they have to figure out how to deal with this Eula with a chain gun.
Yeah, they know that it's not always easy to deal with, and so they're being a bit patient here. They have that shoddy up close and personal. We saw Sky dip into the site and heal Eula back up to 100 here as well. No armor left for Eula, but still has the health. They've got the numbers advantage here as well, and with only 35 seconds on the clock, Camas is going to have to figure out what they want to do here relatively soon.
30 seconds
and they've got
left.
the res worth noting. That Clove can easily just come back to life once you try to do much about it. Lear is out, but are they going to force the issue? Smoke as well from the Omen. They know, and Eula is going to cut them down in a mincemeat. Instant res there, because Diamond Dude's a threat we're not going to play with. Lula Bula finishes them off. Southridge up 6-1.
Southridge, I mean, what a dominating performance here to open things off. But again, we've seen teams play better on certain sides on various different maps. So I don't want to get it too far in front of myself. But if they could close out this half with limiting Camas to just 2 or 3 round wins, it certainly would plead a great case for them to push us into map number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, like you mentioned, Camas just recently learned the lesson of don't underestimate your opponent. Don't count those chickens till they're hatched. But I'm certainly convinced that Southridge can make this go all the way in the series. Tuna, hot hand, quick feet, and just get around the util, the pick.
Or we'll spin on open. 3 pressing this way, but maybe just a bit of bait here as well, as they're not going to opt to pressure through tree here.
There.
The majority of the setup for Southridge is over toward this A site. We'll see some smokes rain down and some patience still here from Southridge as Camas will begin to slowly but surely linger forward.
Shadows come out here from the Omen. Paranoia as well. Rotom has Lula jumping at Shadows and now has them dead on the floor. Flat. DSW finds the double as well. Low health there for the fade, but certainly enough to get the spike down at the very least.
Spike planted.
Spike will go down. It is 4v2 that favors Camas as well. They should be able to hold this one out. Lapara has other plans, but nope, DSW does shut it down. The triple kill and a big round for them.
Yeah, you know what I mentioned in the little series break there is the fact that DSW is really solid. They're doing a fantastic job at just holding down offensively while also, of course, providing a ton of utility. The smokes, the damage, the TPs, the baits are really solid so far. You can't ask for more. They've got now that ultimate ready. Fade as well. We're waiting on this overdrive, Tuna, but maybe just going to wait until, I guess, the batteries are out instead. Camas, at the very least, can try now to start building up that momentum that we've been seeing Southridge plod along so far. DSW with the smokes, starts off with the util again. Not even going to wait, get the rest down. Fade, drops down the ultimate, but Lulabula lies in wait. Paranoia goes a bit wide, and it's gonna be trouble here for the Phoenix. Shot down, reduced to cinders. Tuna gets first blood.
Tuna looking to pressure forward here with the rest of the squad. The plant will go down from Rotom now as well. And again, the numbers beginning to favor them as we see Barty starting to fall now. Eula Evers credited with 2 to bring it to a 3v3, and they'll try to make their way on towards site.
Oh, do not poke your head out there again, Reina, unless you want it taken off your shoulders. DSW gets the plant off. Once again, credit to this Omen, man. They have been nothing but a thorn in Southridge's side.
Yeah, able to pop the ult, get to the other site in a mere matter of moments. And plant down. Now it's going to be up to Southridge to work their way back in. Tough to do with a smoke in the lane. Going to need to step maybe a flash out there before you peek out as well. You don't want to peek blindly and through those smokes. And we'll see Southridge beginning to get some control of the site.
The defuse begins. Can't find half just yet. It's a bait attempt, but unfortunately you're the one who's on the wrong end of the stick. Instantly eviscerated. Diamond Dude and the Reyna sweep up the remains, and now Camas begin to streak together a couple of victories.
Well, they need them. They need some rounds, certainly here on the board for Southridge. They've guaranteed themselves a minimum of a tied half here, and doing it on the defensive side. We talked about this map often being one of those more attacker-favored ones where you have the 3 sites. The defense is spread a little bit more thin, and you have an opportunity to really take advantage of those numbers. So it certainly feels like it favors Southridge at the moment, but man, we've seen momentum shift so many times already in this series. So Camas certainly capable of reeling it back, and it starts off the back of these first couple rounds they've been able to put together.
Everest is like, I don't think I'm going to put my face anywhere near that corner. Slowly backs away. That sounds like a good idea to me. That's what the doctor ordered. Again, slow, methodical, revolving door ready if you want to try to burst your way through it. But Everest oftentimes works best in conjunction with other playmakers. Never really the one to pop off by themselves. Stay with the team and get some kills.
Everest, first couple shots will ring out here.
Nah.
A bit of a trade coming back and forth. Cypher and Reyna both credited with 1. The blind is decent. Lapara will dip away from that Lear there, but the smoke screen down. Rotom will drop the plant quickly one more time.
I love the spray through the Cyber Cage. Audacious, bold, and exactly what you need to take down the Cypher. They did not expect them to be that daring. Eula dares to take down Rotom. The run it back is going to come through. This could be rough here for Camas.
Certainly not an easy job, but Lula and Eula finding 2 together. The diffusal's already coming in.
Oh, but Diamond answers back with a 2K after the res was expired. Miss her, though. Again, not going to be off the mark with that shot. Manages to keep the defense strong, and now Southridge can put that rebellion to rest.
Make sure to follow my pack in.
Go lead us right to the enemy.
Oof. 7-3. Just a couple rounds left here now before halftime. And Southridge wanting to get in many of these rounds. We always talk about the importance of putting multiple rounds in a row or together here. And for the first time in a long time, we've seen Camas not be able to do that tonight. They got 1. They did get 2 there recently, but already that momentum stifled once more. They're going to invest almost all of their economy buying into this round. So if they don't win this round, the final round of the first half could spell trouble as well.
Tuna. Looking at you, Tuna. Let's get some trades. I'm looking for trades that aren't Everest. You're really looking to try to take down Para, or I'd say honestly Eula as well. Even though they're not necessarily the highest batting when it comes to the kills, they provide so much value to the team that you really just want to demoralize them by robbing them of the util. We'll see though what ends up happening. Low health there for Camas and Reyna. And also low to the ground. Hula takes him out.
Back and forth. DSW Tuna, though, out on top here to give Camas the player advantage, shifting through, and Tuna catches them off guard, but it's Eula now. The return fire. Rotom picks up a big one. La Perla Nota caught by Diamond Dude on the rotation. It's a big round now for Camas as they work back into this one.
This is it's proof of concept, Hot Sauce. If Tuna gets 2 or more picks, I feel like it's almost always over for Southridge because they're finding more value. They're finding, even when they go down, because oftentimes, again, it's that blaze of glory. I'm going down, but I'm taking one of you suckers down with me. We need to see that happen. Right now, they're even, 11-11. That's great. Let's get onto that positive side, buddy. And also, let's use that gosh darn overdrive.
Use that overdrive. It's been a while, and honestly, it's such a very deadly ult. Especially when you're moving fast toward these sites. You can find some early picks, open up the site, get that plant down. Right now, we see that slow pressure here from Tuna. And Camas, honestly, pretty spread out at the moment.
Perfect time there to chain some lightning together. We'll find out if we can get it done. Everest has oftentimes been the one to trade out for Tuna. Not been having the easiest time, but those Lears are valuable, especially when they're placed in these trap positions. Tuna around the corner, finds the first pick. No overdrive necessary. We're already speeding things up.
Go, go, go.
Oh, here comes Tuna. Slide in toward the site. Will immediately destroy the dog. Sky's still there. The blind does not connect this time either. And with that, they'll push him off the site. The plant goes down again with ease. And Camas really fighting back in these last few rounds.
I do like that retreat from Southridge, recognizing, hey, Util did not find the mark. We don't know enough information to stick around here without potentially losing more members needlessly. And unfortunately, that's exactly what's going to happen. Tuna drops Eula, forces the ultimate. And that Seeker's not going to be taken out. Lula Eula just quite yet. Eula, off the res, drops Tuna for some nice post-mortem vengeance. Takes down 2, I miss her. Answers back, and Eula finishes off DSW, making good with their second coming, and they're gonna finish the job as well in a Diamond Dude. What an amazing play by the Clove.
And they will finish the half at 8-4. It was a 9-3 in map 1. This one not too far off, but Southridge doing a much better job on the defensive side this time. They'll take a quick pause, I believe, just to stand up, maybe stretch those legs. Obviously, this is a long series here, so a bit of time to rest and maybe talk about what they want to do here in this second half. But Southridge, they guarantee that winning half, and now they just need 4 to get to match point. 5 to close it out and push us into that elusive map number 3.
Now, Hots, I'm curious for your thoughts here as the more analytical brain between the two of us here. What's changed? Because, like you said, the balance has certainly shifted multiple times across the series, but now it feels like Southridge are playing with a lot more confidence and a lot more consistency, able to string together these rounds, both at the end of the last map, but also now at the beginning of this. What have they done to evolve past the point where they have to fear Camas?
I mean, I think they know they're a talented team. I don't think they really ever had to fear Camas. You know, I think we just kind of saw those other games being played, but we do have to remember that Southridge is a team that upset the #1 seed of Pirates Gold Rogers. And so a team that they had lost to in the regular season. This is a team that's been grinding hard. They've been putting in the work to make sure they get to this championship. So, you know, some of those first game jitters, we talked about it, are a thing. They had a slow start on Ancient, but they battled back. They sent it to overtime. And I think we're seeing that confidence, that momentum, that comfortability now spilling over here into Lotus. They've got a dominating first half. They just have to make sure they can close out these important rounds and this game. If they do so strongly, they really plead a good case to upset all the way to victory here and become the finalist champions.
And I think a big thing you're looking at here on the scoreboard is the fact that Eula now is no longer the stock tank. They're the stock taker. They're the one who's killing fools as well as keeping the team alive thanks to those ruse smokes. It's a pick that allows you to be a bit more daring, but at the same time, again, Eula plays it with enough conservatism that their life is never wasted. In fact, you saw it there. They got the res, and then I think dropped a 3K right afterwards. Camas not only have to worry about putting down these precise, peerless players once, but sometimes twice, and that's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with, you know, and we haven't seen the Odins have as much success from Camas that we're used to seeing there as well. Again, maybe because of that attacking side issue, but certainly not having as much value. In Southridge, they're comfortable Ferrari peeking those Odins. We've seen La Paralanota win that gun battle with a rifle many times here as well, and so I just think we see Southridge playing very well, that cohesive unit, that well-oiled machine that we talked about. And for Camas, we didn't see him really switch up that attacking side much. I felt like it was all A or B. We didn't see too many C pressures. I think one time we were on that C site. So if Southridge can kind of keep them guessing, they do have to get through that Cypher who typically holds down the C site, which with that being Diamond Dude, that shining star of last game, has been a little bit quieter this game.
We'll find out if Camas can put on a similar performance that we saw from Southridge when they were at death's door. Camas gonna be able to spot out Diamond Dude. That's not the target you want to lose. Camas have got to preserve them inside the cyber cage. It's Hell in a Cell, and who wants to go down there first? Everest is gonna be the first to fall. Lula, Bula as well, but Cypher drops their body double.
Body double goes down. A couple more picks come in to bring it back to a 2v3 that favors Camas, but Sky has got this plant down, backed up just a little bit. Reyna will shift forward, and that Haunt is going to find one. The reswing, Eula finds one. The trade from Reyna as well. And now it's all down to Eula, who has been a shining star this round, but it's not quite enough. And Camas will get a very important pistol round to kick things off.
When those ultimates are down now, you can see there's a very big power imbalance there, obviously. The fact that you don't have to worry as much about Eula coming back from the grave, we're not concerned one bit. That being said, with no ults on the horizon, Southridge now got to play alone. And also, look at their guns. Not looking too great. Locking armor, Camas now with the big buy-in round. It's going to be a tough battle for Southridge. They're starting to face down the same barrel that they were pointing at Camas at the end of the first match.
Yeah, it's funny how the tables have turned a bit here, but I think it just kind of reiterates how close and how talented all the competition here is throughout WSSEA. Everest almost finding an early pick, some Reyna on Reyna violence here as well, but Camas able to dip back to safety. I think slightly got the lesser end of that battle, but still both players still standing.
Neither of these queens shall fall just yet. Ronan been a bit quiet here on the fade, but like you said, those haunts can provide quite a bit of utility for the rest of the team to finish up the dirty work. La Paranota squares off and tries to find the pick, but a nice and sneaky crouch results in the end of the Cypher. Drops the util as well, enough distraction for Tuna to take down the Phoenix. And now they're going to be able to actually maul them alive. DSW takes advantage of the fear spread by the fade, and now Tuna looks to suss out the last.
Well, Ronan does find Everest, and the last will go down. Camas, they get that pistol round. They get the one that follows, but now we should see a full buy coming out from Southridge unless they invested too much in that previous round, and this is the round that they should be able to take away. The fact that we see a Stinger and a Bulldog in the mix makes me a little bit worried in the fact that maybe they did invest a bit too much in the previous round.
Ooh, that is tough. Maybe just didn't get their AP Econ classes down quite just yet. We're still only in the second semester, or actually first term, in fact. Southridge, 8-6. They know just how quickly a lead can be dwindled away, and they know just how easily an upset can come through. Which will be the result? Rain around the corner. So many heads, but which to click on? It's going to be Lulabula, the first one to go, and I'll take your soul. Thank you very much.
Well, one soul down. Diamond Dude will back off. Has a trap there if needed. We see that pressure now beginning to funnel away here as the rotation has already come in from Camas. They're prepared for this C pressure. They've got still that split of Neon kind of anchoring down toward that A site as well, but we will see a subtle rotation now begin to come in from Southridge.
Still has the double cyber cage there from Nota, but not going to be noting it any longer. Tuna and the Reyna combined for 3. Only Reyna remains.
Oh, here's Tuna. Spot comes in, but it's Ronan from the backside to find that one. And Camas, after struggling a little bit here, has now found their stride once more. They were just one round away from being able to tie it up. And honestly, Southridge had a bit of a mishap there in their economical situation. They didn't quite save together. They couldn't quite buy together. And now we see it kind of falling further into that hole. Everest, the solo hero rifle to play around. Everyone else going to be able to buy the following round, but unfortunately not that Reyna unless they have one heck of a big round here.
One thing that you always do together, you either win or you lose together. Southridge want to be the former, but at this rate, it's looking a bit grim. Camas, momentum behind them. And also the fact that they're only one sweet round away. The pressure's not even quite on them. There's still a long time before you have to worry about match points. So Camas have all the momentum without all of that mounting pressure. Once again, La Palananota's the first blood. That feels amazing for the Reyna.
Gotta feel good, but they'll need 4 more. Now
Wow.
Reyna is slowly picking them apart. I think going to the Reyna over the Waylay must have been a great decision. Diamond Dude here as well. And where we saw Camas kind of always pressuring A, it seems Southridge funneling into this C site. Reyna the Quadra, and it's difficult to deal with not only the Reyna being here, but the Cypher traps as well.
Yuck. Disgusting use of the Empress there, but you can see why they call her the Tyrant Queen. Reigning at the top of the kill board as well, 19 and 10. Tuna right by their side. It seems like the pecking order has been reestablished here, but Diamond Dude, humble as ever, still clicking heads and making them dead, just as you so please. Southridge on their hand, I was really expecting this Phoenix pick from Lulabula to pop off, but surprisingly, it's been Eula batting at the top. Once this Phoenix starts to find a bit more of its flame, I think that's when we see Southridge mount that comeback.
Slowly but surely, one round at a time, one kill at a time. As we say, they found a way to tie it up here after a tough start. And just a little bit of a flashback from game 1 now as Ronan will find the opening pick, and it seems like Camas is continuously finding these opening picks and getting that player advantage.
Diamond Dude
planted.
drops Notan down.
Player standing.
And Tuna's going to be able to eviscerate Eula as well. Only the sky remains, but if you're in the Southridge, they are awfully gray. Camas able to clear up the bomb and take the lead, 9-8.
9-8. After trailing for the majority of this one, they find themselves up on top, and right at the end, when it matters most. It can be tough to deal with here, and that's where they say that the diamonds are made under great pressure. Diamond Dude looking to shine here once more, but it's been this Reyna, I feel like, at 19 and 11. Certainly has been a great force for them, and everybody is in double-digit kills here. So it just seems like that collective 5-player stack as a whole for Camas now starting to play slightly better.
This Reina's so good, they might get me to start learning fluent kanji. Like, I got no idea how to read the pronunciation of those characters, but man, if you continue to pop off like that, I might be convinced that I need to just to preserve my own life, because this surely will be the overlord facing you down in the dystopian universe that Camas seek to create. 9-8 once again, Southridge now the underdog, but again, they've been the tops before. La Paranota dominates the Reina. Just as soon as we were singing her praises, now we're singing funeral hymns.
From praises to funeral hymns, and now things starting to look a bit grim here for Southridge, but they'll fight back here in round 18. It's an early spike plant, numbers advantage. Empress popped, and Ronom just trying to get a little bit of intel, but Southridge doing a great job of being patient. Hot goes over the top, but I don't think it's far enough to really catch some of these players.
Nah, by no means. That's okay. Diamond Dude can just piece apart the mountain themselves. La Paranota is the answer. But Tuna and DSW combined for 3. Eula's back from the dead. Flashes out, but can Sky do much about it? No! I miss her indeed. But you're instead going to be the one being missed as your face is plastered up on the wanted boards. Another defuse, another round the way of Camas. 10-8.
Gotta go.
Yeah, that's tough. They get the plant down. They have the player advantage to work with, and they still can't quite solidify that round. Now, Southridge starting to see that dream slip through the grasp of their fingers. They've got to hold on to this one, and it's been some of those economic issues that we talked about. Again, we don't quite see that full buy coming out for all 5 here from Southridge. And on the other side, it's a full buy, a full set of armor, the Odin, and plenty of stacks in the bank to buy should they lose more rounds ahead. It has now been 6 rounds in a row here for Camas.
They are the money printers after all. It makes perfect sense why they've got such unlimited funds. They own the banks, silver spoons, caviar, as much as you can eat. Tuna's a bit hungry, looking to feast on Lula first.
And feast they will. Tuna gets one, but one is all they'll get because Everest has had enough and will shut them down here in this one. Back to a 4v4. Southridge just trying to be patient, but Camas has done a great job of being able to win these gun battles. Despite being overnumbered here on any one of these given sites, they've done a great job of navigating it, finding early picks, and setting themselves up for the dub still.
Scout finds DSW, Rotom grabs that Fade ultimate, but Everest grabs the kill instead. Reina, not to be outdone on the side of Camas, takes out Eula. 3-3, but the Omen sustains some battle damage. Everest a bit more, your soul is mine.
Southridge in a bit of trouble now. They're going to shift back toward the A site, but Reina is going to get here just before them, and if hearing those footsteps will pop out in the Lear. Not able to find one. The squids come out immediately as well, and there's not enough ammo in the mag. It's dangerous, and Reina does go down.
They try to play that as carefully as possible, but just a bit on the fritz. I miss her. Seekers chase down DSW, but they will be instantly taken out. Spike planted here, and better health bars for Southridge. They do bear the advantage.
Heal up, squad.
The advantage and the heals to top up here, La Parlanota. Time ticking away, and see Diamond Dude beginning to pressure forward. He was a big star in that last one. Now looking for a big kill here as well. Has help from DSW, and the tides get turned once more.
The flash delayed. I mean, you had the sound read, but Labaranota invades in the cyber cave. What a quick draw! My God! Pull off the katana next time, buddy. You are unstoppable. Southridge, clutch up.
I'm almost at a loss for words. That was insane. It was looking like it favored Southridge, and then it was on the side of Camas. La Parlanota steps through the spray transfer, an absolute deserving of a chef's kiss style play. And Southridge not ready to go silently into the night. It is just their first round in the second half, though, and they need to string a couple together if they want to put that economic pressure back onto Camas.
Dude, he like kicked down the door of the cyber cage and said, "Who's home? Anyone hungry? Got a lead sandwich for you." And sadly, Camas, we're chomping at it. Diamond Dude's gotta feel a bit rough for that one, especially on the fact that it's, again, your opponent, right? These destined rivals that have been made out. Reina is one of them. Lula Bula is the first off the mark.
First off the mark, and again, it's been early picks time and time again here for Camas. They've gotten the lead once more, but it's only by a single round, and we've already been blessed with one overtime here today. There might just be another one on the cards here.
Spooky stuff, but as long as La Paranota is up, that's all that matters. Ult comes through here. Camas know exactly where you are. That's the cost when you have a Cypher up and running, because all it takes is one to know where everyone is.
It only takes one, and now Reina will find one. DSW snatches up the other as Lapara, now Eula both get credited with 2 picks apiece as well. Still down by a player, but Southridge will continue to fight tooth and nail.
Rona might not have gotten the kills, but that distraction they caused with the Odin was enough to allow Camas to bear man advantage. Now it is this Clove and Reina together, and now it is DSW being taken off the market. Though low health, this Clove is certainly lethal.
Eula does drop the plant here now, back to a 2v2, and La Paranota not here to find the clutch in this one. It's going to be up to the Reina and Clove. Eula certainly having a standout performance here on Lotus.
Feels rough, though, to see that there's a Cypher on one side, not the other. Diamond Dude, once again, glinting, gleaming in the sunlight. You have to stain those jewels with the blood of your enemies first. Prepares around the corner. Trap comes out. The cage is in. The defuse is the response. Everest, though, is able to take down the Reina, spray through the cage. Diamond Dude drops Eula to start things off. Tries to fake the defuse, but man, you were caught looking at the wrong spot. Everest will take them, and Southridge will tie it up.
What in the world is going on here today, D-Lo? I am just absolutely ecstatic that we've been blessed with such an amazing grand finals here for the WSSEA 2025 fall season. Southridge, they'll tie it up once more. They lost 6 in a row to open up this half, but they put their foot down. They said enough is enough. This next team will go up to 11, 12 match point, 13 to close it out, and it's always nice to be in the driver's seat in a situation like this. This next round, incredibly crucial here for both squads.
I'm looking for Lula to go big here with the run it back. I'm looking for La Paranota to survive the concuss. Dazed, but not confused. Always precise. They're able to stay alive, and with their wits about them, retain all their health as well. Great job not panicking under duress.
Gotta be cool, calm, and collective here. You're trying to win the objective. Now we see him switching sides, heading back toward the C site. Diamond Dude posted up, traps in the way here as well, and we now see that subtle rotation coming in from Camas. If Southridge can quicken the pace, they might just get here before them.
Empress online, but quickly dethroned. Eula does find a trade, but Everest being out is quite important. Unfortunately, did not have the run it back quick. Lula Bula is going to go down without a sound. Eula switches sides there with their Cypher brother in arms. Rona, along with 3 other members of Camas, bear the advantage. Haunt comes out, but unfortunately, there are scarier ghosts lurking the crypt, and Tuna is going to have to exercise them. As they find the double on Eula, they're back in action.
Right back in action they go, but Eula put right back down. Tuna finally pops that ult, and we see a triple kill come out. Camas back into the driver's seat, up by 1, and 1 away now from that match point.
The overdrive your seat, if you ask me. Tuna did a really solid job there of making sure they weren't flustered under the pressure of the Clove res. And again, I would have, man, I really like to see Lula Bully pop that ultimate there. I think, honestly, the way they went out was rather anticlimactic. We, again, just got to make sure we're using these ultimates that come off of such a tight cooldown. But nonetheless, Camas played that very well. The fact that you had Diamond Dude go out early had me a bit worried for a second, but they're managing to just eke by. They're always staying a stride ahead of Southridge, who are desperately trying to catch up, because the more we get into this game, the less breathing room you have before it all comes crashing down.
Camera taken out.
Not a ton of time left to make it happen here. Southridge have certainly made it a cinematic one. Tuna, fearless, presses through and somehow gets one, but now it's Camas. They've played patient for the majority of this one on the defensive side. They get aggressive at both ends, and they find 2 big picks.
Tuna walks in the spot like they were invited. Like, dude, who asked you to be here? And they still get a kill. They walk in, say, where are the snacks, grab your Cheetos, and just try to leave. Unfortunately, they were gunned down before they could exit the premises. Diamond Dude, make sure I miss her, meets the same fate. 3-2 in favor of Camas, and you don't have your Cypher up.
Makes it a bit tougher, especially when you got to go against Diamond Dude and the likes of Camas, who have been so flawless here. And the fact that they're shifting back toward this C site where all the trips are makes me worry. But if they hang on a bit longer here, Everest could find a big one. It's a double swing, and DSW will capitalize.
They got battle damage, but man, they didn't get the pick. Here comes the Prowler out on the prowl. A dizzying assault of utility is now. Diamond Dude comes rushing in to potentially finish off the job, or maybe just leave them to the goons, the henchmen instead. Nah, I'll do it myself, they say, as they quickly grab up the last life. Camas, match point.
Whew, they worked so hard to get here, and after being down 8-4 at halftime, they find themselves in the driver's seat once more. But we have to remind ourselves, they got here first in game one as well. It was 3 or 4 rounds in a row, I think Southridge had to win on Ancient to get us into overtime. They're certainly capable of it. But again, that economy, it's a bit scrappy. The buy coming out from Southridge. They need to pull out all the stops here in this round if they want to hang on for a bit longer.
Close range here from the sky with a shoddy, but I'm not convinced. They've oftentimes been playing at range with that util. We'll see how it goes. Let's go around as Tuna, Diamond Dude, Reyna, and Diamond Dude once more. Eviscerate 4. It's only Eula left, and they're done. Camas take it in 2.
They get it done, 13-10, and it was a great job on both maps. If you're Southridge, you hold your heads high. You had a phenomenal regular season. You upset some big teams in the postseason, and you gave us one of the best series we've seen all year. So congratulations to Southridge on their run, but a bigger GGs to the Camas Quesadillas as they clutch it up in 2, and a job well done. They remain undefeated through P-season, regular season, and now postseason.
Disgusting. Lotus, baby. What can I tell you? It's just Lotus. The house always wins. And yeah, Quesadillas grab it. Que rico, they say, as they're able to finally put an end to Southridge's upstart resistance. But man, 2-0 does not do any justice to how intense this series was. That needs the biggest, fattest asterisk next to it possible.
Indeed, it does. You know, the nice thing, though, is there's plenty of seasons to come, plenty of games to be played, and so we look forward to seeing how they fare in following seasons, but we obviously want to wish them the best going forward. I mean, again, they put on one of the best series we've seen. That truly was very, very exciting, not only to get to watch, but to get to cast with you as well, D'Lo.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the future is bright, and there's a reason for that, my friend. It's because of our amazing sponsor, including LANFest. This broadcast, guys, is all part of LANFest's Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LANFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts just like this one to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, schools, and teams we cover. Your generous donations are what make that possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for one regular season broadcast. If you appreciate our work, if you appreciate the amazing show of esports talent here rising up from Washington, scan that QR code on screen and donate today. Open your hearts and maybe, just maybe, open your pocketbooks.
Absolutely. It's for such a wonderful cause. Landfest.com/scholastic there as well if you're not able to get to that QR code as a friendly reminder. But man, I'm a little sad to see these seasons come to a close. I'm always just wondering what to do with myself in between seasons as I'm waiting to get to, highlight all the wonderful talent that we have over here at WSSEA and many of the other places, other wonderful places. So unfortunately, though, D'Lo, that is, about it for us. Again, always a pleasure to be with you in the booth. And honestly, I'm very thankful for WSSEA LANFest and to be a part of it all.
Now to sleep in my coffin for an eternity, for a whole month until I get the ping on my Discord that says, guys, WSSEA's back, baby. And then I arise. But like you said, Hot, as far as games we got here to cast for you, that is going to be all for us here on WSSEA Valorant Finals. A hearty congratulations to Camas and a better luck next time to Southridge. They certainly gave it their all. I've been D'Lo. Joined here in the booth by Hot Sauce, we've had our amazing production crew, Connie on the console, as well as Taylor. Please thank our production for all they do. We could not yell at games without them. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this series just as much as we have. Keep an eye to the sky for more WSSEA action coming at you in the future. Until then, good games and good night.
Silence.
One enemy remaining. Didn't want back in a flash.
On target.
On the money.
Down. Go, go. One enemy remaining. Long. We did. One enemy remaining. Clutch. Nice try. Go, go, go. One enemy remaining. Spike. Insecto. Last player standing. Last player standing.
Put down.
One enemy remaining.
3 out of 5. I have retrieved the spike.
Clutch. Spike down. B. Win. One enemy remaining. Spike down. Spike down. B.
Neutralized.
One enemy remaining. A. Got one. Spike down. B. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Prepare for hellfire.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
It is ready.
Cage 3. Reyna killed.
Player standing.
Hey, what? Snare man. My ultimate is ready.
Gotta go. It's ready. Spike down B.
It is.
One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
I'm out of stuff. One enemy remaining. find you. We'll catch them. One enemy remaining. Spike down. Phoenix kill. Spike down. C. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Remaining.
You had your fun. My turn.
One enemy remaining.
I've got your trail.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Clutch. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Down.
Cypher